Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's lesson, Letting Go of Resistance. It has so many facets to it that makes it so difficult to let go of, and I want to share from my own personal experience with you how to firstly recognize resistance and how to let it go. Now, if you only found this video now, I have started this series a few sessions ago. So go back, start from the first masterclass, and then move your way through to this one. And subscribe to this channel to get notified every time that I have a new masterclass. Now, let's look at resistance. I'm sure that you all have heard, whatever you resist will persist. Now, the challenge is, we don't always know what we are resisting. And that is where the challenge comes. There's a known factor there's a known factor to resistance, and there's an unknown element thereof. And we need to be aware of both to know how to truly let it go and move past the resistance. So there's a few things I want to share with you today, and there's some insights from a brilliant book that I've read that I want to share with you as well today. But let's look at the known part of resistance. The known part is knowing that you don't like something. You are resisting the situation, you don't like it, you don't want it in your life, you want it out of your life, you do whatever it takes to get out of the situation. Whether it is a career, a financial situation, a relationship, it doesn't matter. You're trying to do anything that you can outside of yourself to change the situation. But the longer you resist it, the longer the situation perpetuates. Now, looking at this portion of resistance, we know we want it out of our life, but then we have to ask ourselves as well, because it becomes a little bit complex sometimes. It's simple yet complex. To ask yourself then, if I am moving towards something else, if I am going into, a phase of change in my life, am I moving towards something else because I want to get away of the current situation? Or am I moving away from it for the right reasons? Because I'm actually following my purpose, my passion, etc. So that's also another question that we want to ask ourselves. And it links back to the session that we did previously on following your passion, to using that inner guidance, that feeling of passion to guide you through life. So also watch that video to kind of latch onto today. So that is the known part of resistance, and we are aware of that level. Now there's an unknown part of resistance that we don't always realize, and I also had to realize this for myself on my own journey towards success. Now I always use my own examples because that is the reference point that I can use for you, no one else's examples. So I, for example, have a goal to spend more time with my children, to do more fun activities and do more things, as a family. So that is one of my goals. Unknowingly, I've been resisting success. Why do I say that? Because on the one end, I want to have more time with my kids, do more fun things together, have more experiences. On the other end, being more successful will require me to travel more, to sometimes work longer hours. So can you see that it is in direct contrast to what I want to achieve in my business, in my career? So unknowingly, I've been resisting success because I don't want to put myself in a position to spend less time with my kids. So it's very important to bring the unknown to the known in order for you to shine light on it and to bring understanding and clarity to this concept, and then changing your mind. So only once I was realized to bring this to the surface, have these conversations, and talk to my kids and my family and my husband about the situation, we could think of different solutions and options, thinking outside the box, which I couldn't do before because I wasn't aware of it. So it's very important to look at the positive aspects of what you want to achieve and what might you be resisting there. And also then what you are obviously resisting. Then we get to the third aspect. If you have worked on yourself, you've let go of your resistance, you have let go of your fears, your doubts, and now your situation is still not changed. Your circumstances are still what you don't prefer. Then you have to realize a different level of resistance, because now you are starting to resist the circumstance that is still perpetuating. Now, if I ask you the question, what is the opposite of resistance? Sometimes it's easy to answer. Sometimes, it's not. What is the opposite of resistance? The opposite of resistance is acceptance. Now, there's a little bit of a dilemma when it comes to acceptance. Again, another layer of resistance that we don't know of. So, if I'm saying that I need to accept in order to let go of resistance, there's a part of us that don't want to accept, because we believe that if I accept the situation, it means in my business, maybe I'm going to just sit back and relax and do nothing about the situation, not put in effort. Or in a relationship, it might subconsciously give the message or the feeling that now I'm just sitting back and allowing people to walk over me and take advantage of me. That is not truth. That is based on fear and doubt. It is not the truth. Accepting a situation means you are detaching your energy and focus from the problem. Because the longer you put your focus and attention on the problem, the thing that you don't want in your life, the more you think about it, the more you contemplate, the more you complain about it, the more repetitive thoughts build in the mind. And whatever we repeat strengthens the neural pathways, creates new beliefs. So now I'm creating the situation continuously in my life. When I accept the situation that I don't like, when I let go of the resistance towards a situation, I am detaching my energy and focus and attention from the problem. And the moment that I do that, I'm opening my energy, my mind, to receive inspiration, ideas, to move you towards what you want to achieve. That is the irony. And I realized this in my own life when I was back, in my corporate career. The moment that I accepted the things that I couldn't change, the things that I didn't like, there was a sense of calm that set in, because I no longer decided to swim upstream, to go against the current and always fighting, but going with the flow. Yes, it is not easy. It's a simple concept, but it is not always easy to do, because we need to be aware of all of the aspects of resistance. So yes, we want to accept. Is it easy to accept when I have emotional triggers? Not necessarily. So I want to share with you just a snippet out of a book, a brilliant book that I would always recommend, The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. Brilliant, brilliant book if you want to change your life, and if you actually apply what is learned in this book, you will live with peace. Isn't that the ultimate? So something that I want to talk about in terms of triggers. So when we get triggered, there's an emotional reaction. It's a physical sensation in the body. And in that moment, what happens is we close it. We close our heart because we want to protect ourselves. So that next time, I'd rather avoid the situation. So we tend to avoid pain at all cost. And those are the triggers. So what he says is, as long as you are defining what you like and what you don't like, You will open and close all the time. You are actually defining your limits. You are allowing your mind to create triggers that open and close you. Let go of that. Dare to be different. Enjoy all of life. Then you become the source of light for all of those around you. So just keep opening and not closing. Energy can heal, and that's why love can heal. Nothing ever is worth closing your heart over. Now, this is just a snippet out of the book, but do yourself a favor and read this book, really digest it, go through it step by step, apply what it says. It is truly, truly valuable if you want to get to a state of complete inner peace, and it is possible. Now, let me explain. How do we not close? Because we get triggered. There's a physical feeling, emotion triggered in the body that we don't like, which is also creating another layer again of resistance, because I'm avoiding certain situations or uncomfortableness because it triggers fear, anxiety, hurt, whatever that might be. So how can I remain open? How can I let go so that I can go with the flow? Now, when you feel a trigger, it is a physical sensation that you're feeling in your body. You're feeling it in your chest, in your stomach, you feel it in your heart. It's a physical sensation. Now, what we usually tend to do is we try to ignore it. We say to ourselves, no, I can't feel this. I don't want to feel this. Let me focus on something else. Let me think of something else. And then you shift your attention to something else. But in that moment, you are suppressing that trigger back into the body because you're not giving it the attention to truly let it go and to really maybe learn the lesson from that feeling. So in order to constantly let go is to feel the feeling in your body. Feel that trigger, feel it as a physical sensation in the body, as you would feel a stomach ache. Feel it, observe the feeling. Name what you're feeling. Am I feeling sad, angry, disappointed, scared? What are you feeling? And then, very important, not to go into the head space and wanting to figure out, why am I feeling this? Where does this come from? Why do I feel so ashamed, scared, doubtful, self-conscious? Get out of the headspace and move into the body and just observe the feeling. And as Michael Singer says, love can heal. So stop resisting the feeling, feel it for what it is, observe the feeling, love the feeling, because every single trigger is moving you to the next level in your life. If you learn the lesson, if you grow from it. You cannot grow if you don't get those triggers in your life, if you don't have the resistance. The fact that there is an emotional trigger means there's something more that you need to deal with, that you need to heal so that you can move forward. Otherwise, we stagnate and we keep learning the new lessons over and over, making the same mistakes over and over again. So observe the feeling. Feel it in your body, like move out of the head. You don't have to figure out why you're feeling this. This person said this, this happened. Well, how can this person, be like this? And that's unfair. Why is this happening to me? If you get stuck in the mind space, you will not heal the trigger, which is subconsciously, it's in your body, it's stored in your nervous system. It will consistently be triggered with similar situations. So feel the feeling, name the feeling, and just observe it with love. Accept the feeling, feel it in your body, and you will be surprised. Within a few minutes, sometimes a few seconds, the feeling will dissolve. The physical sensation, the energy in your body, you are acknowledging it, you're naming it, you're learning the lesson from it, you choose to let it go. if you can have this as a way of life, your triggers will disappear. You will truly live in a space of peace, contentment. Now, what is the upside of that? If you are able to experience happiness from within, and this is from Dr. David Hawkins from his book, Letting Go. If you experience happiness from within, now the law of vibration works in your favor. Now you're able to tune into a frequency where you attract different ideas. You attract different opportunities, or not really attract, you tune into a space where you see things differently. Your lens through which you look at life changes. You see opportunities that was always there, but now you're able to observe them. And then the last part of this is then taking action. Taking inspired action, meaning that I didn't figure this out. It's an idea that came to me. It's something that I feel called to do, or I feel excited to do, and then taking the action. And as you go, through taking action, consistently letting go of the resistance. Once there's resistance, you need to realize, is it a belief? Subconscious belief that is creating the trigger? Is it an underlying fear that you have, or self-doubt? Is it resisting the circumstances and not allowing life to happen? I think I mentioned it before, to cultivate the belief that everything happens in your favor. And I truly believe that this is true for every single person on the planet. And why do I believe that? Because the fact that you exist means that everything in your life is happening in your favor, because this is your life. The fact that you exist is not by chance. You have a purpose. And the universe, God, source, life will support you to achieve your purpose. And sometimes we have to go through adversity in our life falling apart in order for you to step truly into your purpose. And this is what happened to me as well. At some points in my life, I thought my life is falling apart. But now looking back at those moments, I knew that it was happening in my favor, because it all allowed me to become the person that I'm supposed to be. And that is the same for you. It's the same for every single person. So we need to allow life to happen and to unfold, even if it looks like it's not what we prefer. Okay, so just to quickly recap what we've done in this session. Whatever you resist will persist on a known and unknown level. The known is resisting the situation, not liking it, talking about it, thinking about it, complaining about it. That is the known. So we need to let go of that resistance. How do I do that? Accept the situation. Accept it for what it is. Stop resisting it. Why? So that you can open up your mind space, your energy, to receive inspiration, ideas, guidance. Then the unknown is what you want to achieve on the one end, maybe your success, your financial freedom, relationship, etc. Is it in contrast to other goals that you have that you're not aware of? So that subconsciously you are closing yourself off of opportunities because it is not in alignment with all of your values and everything that you want to achieve. And then we look at life, the circumstances. Even if you've let go of your emotions, your fears, your beliefs, but yet it feels like your circumstances did not change yet. Now you have to remember, it's happening in your favor, and trust in that. Know that it is a fact. And then go with the flow of life, because it will take you where you're supposed to go. So thank you for joining me in this session. I look forward to seeing you again in the next one. Bye.